That's right.
This guy's Arabic saying
That's right, ladies and boys and girls, live from Free Admissions. This is Gym Crashers with me, Joey the Bull, Dondo, and straight off of the UFC right here, the man himself, Gabe Green.
It's gifted Gabe Green.
Gifted Green. For Instagram people, gifted Gabe Green.
From Sub Fighter.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up,
Seal
brother?
Beach.
Thanks for having me, guys,
Awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And like he said, UFC debut, takes a fight on 3 days' notice. I mean, not a lot of guys do that, and this guy just stepped up.
Yeah, they called me Tuesday, 4:30 in the morning. We're like, you want to fight? Get here, in a couple hours. So Tracy down at Sub Fighter, my coach hit me up, and he's like, pack a bag, jump in the car, let's roll.
Hell yeah. I like the spirit of what you guys do. That's what it's about.
I mean, we love to fight, so let's go fight.
Yeah.
Not much to think about.
That's awesome. That's a great way to put it. Just you're fight ready.
Yeah.
Because we are under, basically, quarantine still, COVID-19, and Gabe gets the call, 4:30 in the morning. Now, I'm only doing one thing at 4:30 in the morning, usually snoring.
He's trying to hop on the bed. He's too small.
That too?
Dude, I was actually, dead asleep. I think I knocked out at, 1, maybe 1:30, and I was completely knocked out. But my brother is, an extreme night owl, and so when my coach was trying to get a hold of me and I wasn't answering, he remembered that my brother's like that, so he called him up. He think he was landing somewhere in Call of Duty, and he just got off the computer real quick and then went and woke me up, and it was a wrap.
It's got to be an important call, 4:30.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
That's right.
it's definitely not going to be not important.
But to me, that's the dream call, because you get that call and you're like, really, UFC? Am I hearing this right?
Yeah, I mean, well, they had hit us up. So I got hurt, and I was off for 2 years. And in that time, the UFC hit me up a couple times, trying to get me to go fight, and I constantly had to turn them down. So I knew they were already thinking about me, and then they hit me up and they were trying to get me on the Contender Series at the end of summer, August-ish is what they were saying. So with everything closed, with the pandemic and everything going on right now, me and Tracy were trying to set the best way that we could set up something that's kind of like a fight camp and get that going on. But nothing was even in the works for that. It just because that was Monday, and then Tuesday they hit me up and they're like, yeah, just kidding, just come and fight on Saturday. So we're like, all right, I guess no camp whatsoever, let's go. I mean, I was staying the best in shape I could, going on runs, and I got a bag in the backyard. I was hitting that, and then if I could find a gym, I was going in there and getting some work in. I went to the body shop in Lakewood with Antonio a couple of times, but nothing was really a fight camp where I was actually getting dialed in. It was just more trying to, not get super fat. And but I mean, I went out there and I still felt pretty confident in my ability, and I left it all out there. I didn't get the W, but I tried.
That's what it's all about, and you did put 100%, and I love that. From where you were at 3 days into it, come on.
Thank you.
That's it, dude.
And especially being on the big show, UFC. I mean,
tell us, Joe.
I mean, nobody can ever say that. I mean, I know it was a little different. How did it feel when you were in there where there was no actual fans in this place? I mean, did it feel a little weird? It
was still just I mean, feel kind of like a sissy for it, but I got a little emotional. I was out there.
It's a beautiful thing.
I walked, and everything was going so fast. I mean, we got the call. We're in Vegas. First day is all medicals. Next day, I'm still all right. I gotta lose some weight. Gotta get the sweat in and all that stuff. So nothing was really I didn't have time to process anything until it was. It was. We were there, and they bring us over there on the shuttle because they're bringing one team at a time because of the whole COVID thing, and. We walk out, and then I just looked around, and I was like, oh, I'm here. Yeah, I was like, whoa. No tear actually fell, but it was there. And then I looked at my coach, and I was like, Tracy, and I gave him a hug, and he's like, let's get it. And I was like, all right. And then I just shook it off, and I started warming up, getting ready for my fight. And then it hit me again when I was just before I walked out. We were at the curtains. I peeped through a little bit, and I saw the lights and stuff, and I was like, I'm really about to fight right now. And it wasn't even I mean, yeah, it's the UFC, so there's an extra level of it, but the fact that I hadn't fought in 2 years, I was fighting's most it's my favorite thing to do ever. I absolutely love it. So the fact that I got to go do something I love, I was it just hit me, and I was just man. Then I checked it again. I was like, all right, let me go, let me do work. And a song came on and walked out there, and then it was a wrap.
Was it more comfortable having an opponent that you had kind of known of, and because I remember the commentary saying you guys called each other out even back kind of before the UFC, back in I think it was LFA or
it was so
I forgot which promotion he
the
called you
last
out
the
in,
last
but-
fight I was supposed to fight, or the last fight that I did fight in before this one, it was for the CXF belt in 2018,
That's what it
and then
was.
I was scheduled to fight D-Rod like 4 weeks after that. Like we already for combate, so everything was like all in order. Contracts were written up. I just had to sign it as soon as I got done with this fight, and but I broke my hand, so I never got to fight the guy. And I was just like, well, I mean. So when they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna come down for Saturday to fight D-Rod," I was like, "Oh, I was already supposed to fight him. Yeah, sure. This is." But I mean, honestly, if they offered anybody to me, I'd been like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I mean, definitely was cool that I finally got to fight a guy that I was already supposed to fight from way back, and then we got paid way more because it was in the UFC and not a smaller event. So that's cool.
Right.
The fight, everyone got to see basically the same show and we got compensated a little bit more. So that's cool on
It
both
was like
sides.
one of the more fun fights of the night. Like
Right?
you
I
guys like
agree.
literally left everything out there. You saw some people like, I think like in Josh Thompson brought up this point. I feel like some people were kind of affected by the whole no crowd, or they're kind of like being hesitant.
Little
You're seeing
tentative.
the more of the point game and all that. You guys just came out swinging at each other, trying to take
I
each
knew
other's
you
head
would,
off.
too.
Like
I knew it. I had that feeling, but yeah. Jesus.
like even going into the third
Pressure.
round, I don't think you even gassed at all. I was like, oh man, he's got to start like gassing at this. Okay, he's still coming at him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm kind of known to have a little bit of cardio.
Yeah,
it
right?
definitely wasn't as
Shit
good
pile.
as good as it was supposed. It usually
Try
is
walking
because,
into a sub fighter gym without getting tired. Like
yeah, it definitely wasn't as good as it is normally because I didn't have a camp or anything. But
Yeah.
just even with that, I felt like I was able to, push a pretty
you guys
solid
look
pace.
good. You didn't have the COVID-15 on you.
No, yeah, definitely.
Looking
Yeah, I
lean.
was just because I was just going for my runs and stuff, just in
Yeah.
case something like this happened.
The COVID. I just finally got that. I
The
got about
COVID.
COVID 25 myself.
What about you, Joey? COVID-35 or?
Joey's on a weight loss journey right now.
Yeah,
Don't pick
I'm
on
trying to
Joey.
focus- yeah, I'm
Oh,
trying
my
to
bad, my
focus on-
bad.
You look
I'm
down,
gonna
saw
knock
his
your ass
friends.
out.
COVID at negative 15.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
negative 15.
Negative
He
15.
calls his little thing COVID. Hey, what's up, COVID? How you COVID?
No, it's called COVID.
I mean, covered.
It's not covered, bro.
That's covered 19.
My shit's just hanging out there, bro. I'll take it out right now. I don't give a shit.
No.
No, okay. All right. Just want to make
It's not that
sure.
kind of show.
Put a big
Jesus,
old
Joey.
pixel around it, The whole TV be pixelized.
Just one pixel? You said put one. He said put a pixel on it. Just-
One good sized pixel.
just-
I start jumping up. It's like playing Cubert.
Joey, put a yarmulke on it. Gotta represent. Hey, let's not take away from Gabe Green. He's in the house. We love this. And, fresh off a UFC fight. But it was a dream fight for me because my mom lives in Seal Beach, sub-fighters in Seal Beach. And I'm running around, and it's like the first real weekend where things were lifted. So to be on Main Street, little pubs and bars, your name's being tossed around, and it's, it's surreal when you know the dude. Like, I know Gabe. So when I hear people talking, it's like, and it was the game. I mean, they're like, dude, a local boy is going to be fighting in UFC tonight. So that buzz was all around Seal Beach all weekend long.
Yeah, it was super cool that like my family was sending me pictures of like the card and it's saying like everyone fighting and it was just Gabe Green. I was like, hey, like that's me. It was it was pretty surreal. Like definitely a dream experience to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you've been fighting a long time now. So what gets you into the game originally? What brings you to the fighting world?
I always wanted to fight. I was always a fan of it. There was another kid that was a family friend that did boxing, and so he would always be at the family parties, like shadow boxing and stuff. And they'd be like, "Hey, throw a combination." He'd be all like that, and I'd just be in the corner, like low key mad hating, like I want to box, But my parents, they weren't down.
Eating shit,
they
I
just
could get 'em.
and I was like, I mean, I want to learn how to do that stuff. And my parents, they were not down. They did not want me to do
Too damn
anything,
handsome. Don't mess with the
anything
money.
at all. So I had to wait till I had my own money and to sign up for classes, and I had to wait till I was old enough to actually sign the thing. So I started fighting at 22. Like my friend started training at Sub Fighter in Seal Beach with Tracy, and he was I was in high school with him. That's where I knew him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm training at this MMA gym," and we were talking about fighting and stuff when we were in high school. So he's like, "You still interested? Why don't you come on down?" And after I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, "Come on, let's jump in my car, let's roll." And then just walked in there, and it was just a wrap from there. Now Tracy can't get me to leave.
It's the right crew for you. You know what I mean? You know that everything worked out for a reason.
Definitely,
Max,
definitely.
Tracy, You know, and there's a group of fighters in there. You guys are chiseled, man. It's iron on iron, steel on steel. So
Yeah, and then just the way that Tracy runs his gym, it's not like there's no ego there. Everyone's just there to help each other.
Yeah.
It's just we're all just, it's a giant family. So like I lucked out a lot getting into that gym, and even over there at the body shop, because Tracy knows Antonio and Keen. They go
there's
back
a close
forever.
relationship with
Yeah,
everybody
so
there.
you know, then it's a little bit different crowd, and they run their gym a little differently, but it's still an awesome environment to be in. So I got, you know, just to be able to train with all those people, and then all the guys at their gym too, with, you know, AJ and Slice and Joey Davis, and then we got, you know, like you said, Max at our gym,
Place,
and Josh Jones and all these guys that fought for Bellator and everything. So it's just,
Joshua Jones, incredible.
yeah, we got.
I love this, like, because I watched his last fight. I love the fact he opened it with just like, let me try the flying knee. Like,
You know what he said too? He was like, "I'm gonna throw a flying knee. I'm gonna do it. He's like,
I love on Instagram he posted. He's like, I tried my ninja. Like, I tried.
That's cool, dude.
He kept on saying it, and we were like, "Are you gonna do it?" He's like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." I was like, "You gonna do it?" He's like, "I'm gonna do it." So then I just like pulled my phone out, like, and I was just like, "All right, is he gonna do it?" And then sure enough,
Yeah, right. I remember we all like turned. We were all sitting there watching. It was like right after Mo had just fought. We're all like, "Oh, wait, is this guy about to go for a flying?" This guy went for a flying knee, like.
And you know, he
almost got him.
just like
He
floats through
almost
the
got
air.
him. Yeah.
I was just like, look at this nimble,
Yeah.
nimble little ninja.
He made it look easy.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then
I was like, was that like really a 170-pound man like flying across like that?
he took that fight at like 3 weeks notice too, because I was supposed to fight that guy, but then
Really?
I broke my rib, so then I had to pull out, and then they were like, all right, so they were looking for a replacement, and Josh was like, I'll do it. So Tracy's like threw his name in the hat, and they, you know,
Got picked.
yeah, he said he was the opponent said he was down, so then that happened, and he had to cut. He was like mad out of camp at that time too, and so he had to cut, like, I think he cut from like 190 and just from 190 to, it was at 160. So he made it, and then he won, you know.
30 pounds, man, that's no joke.
He kicked it in.
Failure
Yeah.
area. You know what I mean? Your kidneys give out after that.
And he was still flying through the air like
He was
crazy,
still
you know,
flying.
still flying.
Yeah.
You can do it when you're young, man, but you know, I'm telling you, it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
That kind of weight cut.
It's also a learned skill, the flying knee. I feel like it's underrated, like how much you actually need to practice your flying knee to get a proper one.
And get them at the right moment,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that, you know, it works and it's effective. Yeah, that's a tough thing. I can only imagine.
Well,
Yeah.
when I was a young lad, when I was dancing in college.
Here we
I
go.
used to
Joe.
have I used to
Tell
do-
us a story.
No, I'm used to just throwing knees and kicks up in the air, and now I can't do it now. I'm a big
Can
dude
you
now.
plie? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, I used to do buffalo step and everything, you know, just the whole jazz, and that was me in college. But yeah, throwing the high kicks and knees, it was something. Something I had to practice.
Do we have film of
I
video?
know,
I
of
will
this?
try. I will
just
try
do
to find
this.
some film.
It's not that I don't believe it.
No, I mean,
It's just I really want to see it.
no, I'll try to find some film. I'll try to find some
The
film.
way he
That's it.
said it too, it's not that I don't believe you.
It's just I want to see it. I want to
Joey,
see
do we
it.
have pictures of these ballerina events. that you would-
Can we just pull it up?
I would find some. I would
Put it
find some.
behind us.
I'll try to put some up next week.
About a year ago, Joey went live in the middle, like in the afternoon sometime. I turned it on. It was him doing a Zumba class.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do a lot of Zumba. I mean, I'm like the only dude in the class. All the girls, and I look like the big chief. All the little skinny old ladies, young ladies are all shaking their hips, and I'm like standing behind them, like trying to move, and I can do it. I mean, I got pretty good hips. My hips don't lie. Like what's her Shakira?
Shakira.
You know, pretty hot.
But your mouth does.
I got videos, so I'll put them up next week or something like that. I'm pretty good at Zumba.
We do need to see video because people are wondering if you're telling the truth.
It's the big it's what it's on everyone's mind right now. Yeah.
It'll confirm our
Call
weight
TMZ.
loss challenge to us. Is like, as long as you're doing Zumba classes, it'll come right off, Joey.
Yeah,
It's
but
Pumbaa doing Zumba.
so Zumba, doing Zumba. That's funny. You piece of shit. So I know it's been a couple weeks
this
already.
man.
I know it's been a couple weeks already. Now, are they planning anything for you? Any time for the UFC to go up against anybody? Any names yet?
I mean, there's nothing that's out there. You know, I definitely feel ready to fight again. I definitely would like to get a full-on camp for the next one and not do another, 4-day notice fight, so I can be the best me
Not
possible.
down for Corona camp.
You know, it's just, I got out, I went out there, I showed everyone that I do belong, and so I want to make sure, because I mean, it's not, unfortunately, just about the fights. You know, you got to win. So I want to make sure that when I go out there next time, I'm definitely the best fighter that I can be. So I'd like to fight again, maybe like late August or early September, especially with everything opening up again now. I can actually, get with my training partners and have a full-on camp and polish up on everything that I need to polish up on. Because, watching the fight, I've watched it like 5 times a day for the last, since, and I'm just like, man, like I did so much stuff that, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't. The fighter that showed up that day wasn't me at my full
100%.
potential. So I'm just like, you know what? Like, I don't want that guy to show up anymore. I want a guy, even though he was willing to fight, I want the best me to be there. So I need, to just buckle down and put a full on camp together. And
It's
get ready.
fighting. Your life is on the line. It's not like you're
level,
not taking like
right?
a high gamble risk. It's like, why wouldn't you want to prepare as most for not just your safety but for the longevity of your career?
Yeah. So I'm looking at, and then so I don't even know if that's an option, but I was reaching out and telling him, like if you got anything August, September, I'm in there. So just
and
let
is
me
like
know.
a Subfighter Long Beach like just fully open? Because I know like we kind of had our official kind of reopen like soft launch. Seal Beach.
Yeah, not officially yet. Yeah. So
Announce that. There's people
hopefully,
watching.
hopefully,
We ain't opening.
hopefully soon though.
We zooming.
That's right.
Hopefully it's open soon. I was talking to Tracy about it, and he said that they're working on it. So, because it's like I know everything. Like in the more deep you got into the OC, the more lax they became about
Isn't that
things. They
crazy?
were just like, let's just do it. So Seal Beach is like that last one before LA County. So they're a little bit leaning towards the.
'Cause I'm pretty sure we're back open. Like, yeah.
That's
Like,
good. I don't
we're
think you
gonna-
guys ever closed, but that's just me saying that.
I mean, this is shush.
It's all good. I mean,
all good.
professional fighters do need to train, and
Yeah.
they will train, whether it's a garage, whether it's at the beach, wherever they can get out and do their thing. But do you have the assistance of, the guys that make you who you are? Because it does take a team. I know it's a team sport. It's one guy that goes in there and lays it out, but your team makes you who you are. Because you ain't got a team, you really can't grind it out. It's a real
We,
tough.
Cats have been keeping.
We showed
MMA
up
alive.
at Seal Beach one time, and it was maybe like 2 months ago, and it was like a Saturday, and everyone really wanted to go, just go hit somebody. And they're like, let's just show up and spar at the beach, and everyone's like down. So it wasn't even a whole bunch of us. There was like 6 of us that just showed up at the beach, and we did we were only doing like 2-minute rounds. No one was super in shape or anything. They just wanted to just move around a little bit, but
Guys are all
just
chiseled anyways.
the crowd that kind of accumulated just watching guys fight in the beach. It was funny because even the police cars rolled up because at that time you still had to wear your mask when you're out and stuff like that. But Seal Beach PD pulls up and they just get out of the car and just start watching us fight. I like it. It was pretty funny.
Almost nothing happens in Seal Beach. Almost.
Yeah.
That is the one weird thing about when because I was even training my friend on the beach how it just catches everybody's attention. Like, oh, what are you doing? And it's like just training because
Did you
we
have
can't
your
do
gi on?
this. No. No.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because we started off and there was just one chick was riding her bike and then she just kind of stopped and watched it, and then we're all going through our rounds and stuff, and by the end we looked around and there was legit just a little a crowd. We should have threw out a hat for some money.
For real.
Should have thrown our hat
You'd
out
be
and got
surprised
some
how many
money.
people I had people running up to I'm just trying to train my friend a little bit, and people run up, you guys have an extra pair of gloves, you guys need sparring partner, you guys need this. I'm like, no, what? I'm not getting a lawsuit today because you want to get your teeth broken.
That might
No.
be a good way to get new students. Because it's showcase.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
maybe,
know. Not
maybe.
the kids that were running up to me. They were on something. I don't know.
They just wanted to fight.
I don't know. They were tweaking really
Is there
hard.
Any interplay between sub fighters? Because there's 3 or 4 different sub fighters even in Orange County, so not really a lot.
I mean,
Not
we
too
just
much.
the sub fighter
Yeah.
tournaments that
It's
we
like a
see
what's
each other
up?
at. We're like, hey,
Basically, it's
you
like,
sub
oh,
fighter?
hey,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sub
you
fighter.
sub-fighter, yeah.
We got it. So we got Russ, we got Adam Lynn, we got Tracy Hess,
Yeah.
and there's one other dude. There's somebody else? No, that it?
I
I
don't
think- I
think
think
so.
That all
I
we're
think
at?
it's just
Okay,
the 3.
okay, that's cool.
talking about back in the day when they
Was
had
Rick?
the one.
There was one more at one
One
point.
more sub
Yeah.
I think there was
remember
one more,
'cause
but I
he
don't
used to
know
bring
if
fighters
it's
to Long Beach
around.
Fight
That was
Night.
Tracy's. That
It was
Tracy's
Tracy. That's right.
That was Tracy's
Body
old
shop.
spot.
Something was. It was before he had affliction.
It was like Lakewood or
That's what
something.
it is.
Yeah, it was Tone and him were one gym.
Yeah. That's right.
And then we're just out behind a bunch of random garages
Oh, yeah,
and
but it's been
car
there
shops.
forever. That's the OG one. I mean,
Yeah.
Tracy's actually probably been out there at it longer, but that's an OG spot because
Yeah.
it had it since Jeremy Williams was there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
kinda
much.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Just some lineage going on.
I know, but it's incredible, that lineage and how it started. And Max Oplata, Max Damien. I only know him by his Instagram name because I'm reading Instagram all the time. Max Damien was actually a part of that whole scene. You know, when that all went down. I know. This is a shout out to Max. Hey, shout out to Tracy Hess. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
Happy
To the
birthday,
coach,
Tracy.
Right? It's pretty cool. But Max was there when all that went down, when they changed the name from Apex to Subfighter. And Subfighter was kind of like what we're doing. They were Subfighter Radio or something back then. And they snatched the name.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of cool. I love that whole time period, you know, before 2010 when all that transition happened and UFC was blowing up at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Max was like the first person to just completely wreck me in the gym too. It
Oh,
was-
I believe it. Yeah.
He was, but like Tracy gave him like the go get him because they gave me the green light.
Green light.
Because I was there, and I think the first thing Tracy taught me was a triangle, and I was like getting on people, and just the first time rolling,
Go for it.
and I was just I love the triangle. So
I
then
can't Diamonds.
hey, did they work?
Hey,
still?
it works. Yeah, if you know how to finish them, I do.
And then Max asked me, he's like, how I think I was there for like, it was like my first week, and he was like, how you liking it here? And I'm like, oh, I mean, it's really cool. I'm loving it a lot. I was like, I haven't really got tapped by anyone though. And then he was like,
Let's see what that.
and then
let's see what that
he
looks like.
looked at Tracy, and Tracy was like, and after he just wrecked me for a round. But yeah, I didn't mean anything by it. Like, I just meant, I was just like legitimately saying like no one really tapped me yet,
In hindsight.
And then no, I mean, he just he wrecked me and just maybe, but it didn't really, like, all it made me think was like, damn, like I can get that much better, and it pumped me up way more.
Yeah.
And then after that, Max was like, I like this kid. So then I guess even though he whooped my ass, that little thing,
At one point.
earned some respect. Nah, I mean, Max still just
Oh,
he's good. He's good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Do you have a story where Tracy told you green light on someone?
That's a good question. I like that.
Actually, there was one time there was a guy that came in, and he was just like, he was throwing like really, really hard, and I think he had like 10 ounces on too. And then Tracy was just like you could go ahead and turn it up a little bit with that guy. I was like, okay, all right, yeah. But I mean, that's usually what it is more than anything. Like, a guy comes in from a different gym who just kind of just goes off the rails for a second, and we gotta
It happens.
bring him back down.
Bring it back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's a fact, right? That's when people get green light, especially if they walk in with 10 ounces. Come on.
How
And
good
no
of a feeling
protection
though
at
is it
all.
to like finally get that green light on certain people though?
Well, I tell you what, when you're downstairs here, John Del will flick that green light often when someone
Yeah.
comes in through that door.
When it's like finally, when you've been taking green lights and it's finally your turn to dish out the beating, like
There were stories where there were even guys were sent over here, whether it was the Gracies or whatever, I forget, but the instructor choked them out because there was a challenge about opening a gym in those days where you were not Brazilian. And then, of course, they'd throw them in the bushes and then throw water on them saying, Dad, don't come back.
Whoa, just
This is one of those places.
Like, sleep was there, sleep was
This
sleep.
is a fact. And
That's
it
wild.
happened more than once. It happened a few times.
Somebody
You know.
said a little something, and that little something passed around the community.
Yep,
You don't think I'm a black belt? Come and get it.
come and get it.
And so people came and try to get it.
And there was even days when I'm here rolling in like a purple belt doing burnouts in the parking lot trying to take us all out or something. You remember that?
Remember that, Ricky?
I'm like,
That guy, Ricky.
I don't know who he was, but he had a bad time here, and then I was doing burnouts in the parking lot. So yeah, those green light days are interesting days. We've had some fun ones. but
always
I
got to
love
do
that.
burnouts to save your ego. You know?
Yeah. Well, he had to because he wanted to get the hell out of here. There was enough of us here. There was trouble.
That's
It was
wild.
a long hour, and he didn't like any of it.
We usually don't get a lot of bad apples per se at the gym, but yeah, every once in a
Well, you
while.
got the big affliction logo. You guys got the spot.
Yeah, it's
right?
pretty. It's pretty. Our gym's pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Like for that, and that's like my gym too. I walk in there, I'm
So
just
proud.
like when I train at other gyms. Like when people are like, hey, come and check out my gym. I be walking around. I'm like, man, we're kind of spoiled over here at our gym. Like,
Everybody else looks like a garage compared to you guys.
yeah, it's got
Hey.
mat space. It got bags. It got monkey bars going over the stuff. It's got
no
a
joke.
cage. It got a ring. It got weight. Yeah, it's got everything.
Look at yourself when you do this.
Yeah, when I'm in there, I'm like, and it's all like red and black. It looks
Yeah.
super cool. I'm like,
Hey,
man,
we have
this
an
is- this is
upstairs with the
snazzy.
ring.
You do. No, your place is
About
cool,
it.
but this is state of the art. I mean, it just has a look to it because the
Yeah.
colors. It looks like a dojo. It looks like you're there to fight. You know, it's one of those places. You're inspired when you walk in. You're like, you're kidding me.
It got the giant quotes like on banners on like above the mats and stuff. You like you're tired in the round. You look up and you're like, I can do this.
I don't know. Ours is more like I feel like when you walk into like Adam Lynn stuff fighter, it's more like grassroots MMA. Like somebody built this by hand.
He takes
and all
off
that.
his shirt and says, "Step back. What you gonna do?"
Right.
You don't want to run for your life.
You get like more than a lesson in fighting. He'll just like randomly talk about it. He's like, oh yeah, remember this shooting story? And then he like goes off something about some tangent about shooting machine guns in the Marines. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man.
I like it when people tie in their skill level with something real life like the Marine. I mean, because obviously some kind of combat, whether it was with veterans or guys that
and we're always like very welcoming. Like I think even we offer like discounts and vet days and all that, and
that's
it's like
cool.
It's the best part is like getting to train with like those type of people are my favorite because it's like for one they have the military mentality which is just suck it up, which is like what Adam preaches is like, hey man, embrace the suck, it's gonna be there. So just embrace it.
Put that at strip clubs. Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck. Here's your 2-for-1 special. Embrace the suck.
Tell us, Joe. Bring that one in, Joe.
I mean, and then that's exactly what it is too. When you start something, you're usually not very good at it, and there's guys in there who've been doing it a little bit longer, bit better than you, and it sucks. It sucks for a second.
All right, real quick, I want to give a shout out to some of our viewers out there. We got Steve Dodge. We got Jessica Sky Landell. Who else? We got of course Mindy and Hosa. Love you, girl. And we got CC Impact, all the way from Barstow with their wrestling show.
That's
Destination
so cool,
6.
We got to get
Destination
out there and
6.
check her show out.
Dude, the place is really nice. It's an actual old theater. They have an upstairs there with the upstairs bar. They have it's a pretty cool place. I've never been there, but I've seen pictures.
I was going to say you go to Barstow a lot, huh, Joe?
Oh, you saw the pictures.
Embrace the suck. Nothing wrong with Barstow. They have look at this video.
Is that Robert?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Joey.
Well, I think I moved a little faster.
Look at that 2-step. Look at
that.
Look at him go.
Jesus.
Yeah, watch it. Hey, windshield wipers. They are moving under that shirt. It's just Zumba. I mean, the dances get more intense. You got to fast forward a little bit more, man.
Do it. I can't believe you did.
Yeah, I'm flying. Look at.
Wax on.
Look at my hips.
okay.
The legs. Lift the legs. Look at them. What do you call it?
This is an hour long, bro.
Dude, you got to show the whole thing.
Look at that.
Next time I walk by that place, I'm
Look at
throwing
those
peanuts
hips. Look at
at
that
him.
body sway, bro.
I'm giving him credit because that was an hour. That's cool. An hour long.
Yeah, no.
Good for you,
Thanks,
Joe.
bro. Thanks.
That was like 100 pounds ago, right?
And I'm the only dude in Zumba right now because and they have all the guys working out. They're all like pumping. And there's this one guy that looks like Ric Flair, and he gives me props all the time. And honestly, he looks like Ric Flair. And he's like, dude, I go, you do it, bro. One time there was people talking shit on me while they're working out, and this guy Ric Flair looked like was giving those guys shit, saying, dude, I'd like to see you man up and go and do that yourselves too, Because have the young guys are like, oh, this fucking guy, why is he doing Zumba? And he had my back. He was just like, dude, if you're talking all this shit, I want to see you man up and do what he's doing.
So
I bet those are
Tito
also the
Ortiz's
same
brother.
types of dudes that like are making fun of the Zumba guy are also the same ones that like go into the mirror but they don't shadow box. They just hold their fists there as if they're like.
Just give himself a pep talk. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen that at the gym like so many times because I'll like to just in
It's
between
true.
training just go lift.
Or you'll be at
There's
24
always like
hours.
guys just sitting there like. I remember one time I saw some dude straight up elbows, the most flared I ever seen, just like
Must have
this
been a cholo.
at the gym. No,
That's just how
complete
we
white
dance.
guy.
That's what we dance.
He was like, no, complete white dude, just like full on, ready to go.
I always think it's weird at there's always like those guys at LA Fitness or 24
Yes.
and like when they have the bag up and they go in there and just like try to kill the bag and I'm
Yeah.
just like
Terrible form.
yeah, always terrible form, but it's like what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And they give it all. Yeah.
That's what
One
they're
whole
going-
minute of animal
Yeah.
swinging.
And they're just trying to crack it and just like cause it like so people could like look over there, but it's
Like, oh, it sounds so loud.
Or my
Yeah.
favorite is like the no, yeah, when they do that and they don't even have gloves on, you're just like, you're gonna break your hand in about a minute, and then you just start watching, and they just do that, and you're like, and they kind of walk off.
It's almost
You know?
inevitable
They
that
do
somebody
the
with a
look
flurry
around,
does that.
This one time I was at a YMCA when I was maybe like 17, and I don't know how to, punch anything or stuff. So there's a bag room,
Liar.
and then I was walking by, right, and there's this big old dude smashing on the bag, like, damn, it's pretty impressive. And he walks off, right, and this little Asian kid must have been like 5'4", comes in, and like right after that guy comes in, and then we're just looking at him like, man, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Right after that guy, fucker started kicking the bag, and that shit was like, wah, wah, just swinging everywhere. And we're just like, holy shit!
It's those guys that cut the bag in half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I think she was folding, and then I was like, damn, I don't want to be the big guy anymore. I want to be that dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's that thing. You never know. You
I saw a
never
chick do
know.
the same thing where it was this one dude. He was like, you could tell this guy was playing basketball, and there was like at the same LA Fitness, there's always like those bags hanging around. So he's just doing basketball drills, doing his jumps, and he starts like thinking like, oh, let me do the same thing. Let me hit the bag and all that.
hurt
And
his
this
foot.
chick, like, yeah, he did something where he hurt it. And this chick, like, and I ended up talking to her later because I saw her just doing like takedowns. I'm like, how's your technique so good? I found out she had only done jujitsu, but I have never seen like for a jujitsu person strikings come so naturally.
If you're in the environment, I get it. If you're not in the environment at all, you're gonna have nothing. So it's possible.
Yeah, but she was just like she
Pull
came
your
in and
She's
like lit up
actually
the
like
bag.
a golden glove or something. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I've never done this
show
before.
Did you show her your long fingers? Because he has those Arsenio Hall fingers. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
You know those fingers. Oh my God.
He's a pleaser.
Thank God I'm not locked up with you.
I really say you're picking your brain. You are. Huh?
When Joey has a fever, we're gonna have you check him.
Yeah, right. I got the corona test right here.
Oh, he's willing to do it. Look at that guy.
Don't even cut his
Hey,
fingernails.
speaking of the corona,
What was that?
it's they didn't do the nose thing. I guess.
Oh, you got the throat one?
Yeah, so they did it the week before.
Yeah,
and
I'm ready with that one too. Like,
They changed their mind. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna do the throat swab. Because I guess a lot of fighters' nose have been broken in the past.
Oh, yeah.
So their like whole nasal cavity is a little compromised. So sticking something up there that's
God.
foreign is a little dangerous. So then
rip out
yeah,
somebody's cartilage.
yeah, you know, because like they're like forcing it in there, and it's supposed to go nice and straight, but noses are all like, you know, yeah. So yeah, they just say like open up, and you're like and they just like stick it in there, and you're just like and then like it still sucks, but definitely sucks as much. Definitely doesn't
It's
suck
gotta
as
be
much as the other
worse,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
How
the nose
was
one.
the experience, the quarantining with the team and all that?
I mean, luckily, like I said before, our team is like a family, so it was pretty cool. I mean, we were just like hanging out, joking around, and I mean, Max was watching like wrestling all the time. Speaking of to Max, yeah, he was, and then he was I didn't even know shows like that because I watched it when I was younger. I didn't know how big wrestling still was. 'Cause I haven't watched it like in forever.
I had
Like
no idea until Max told me. Actually,
I was like.
guys all tell me. I had no idea.
I was like, man, and you know, I was sitting there watching. I saw Mike Tyson walk out with like Cejudo. I was like, what the heck? I was like, what the heck is going on right here?
Connection with MMA,
Yeah,
right?
I was just like, wait, what?
He was like snorting at the guy. Like,
Dude, yeah,
right
and then like I was like, it was just kind of cool to see him on like in a wrestling ring. I was like, oh man, that's cool. Yeah, it was Vitor, Mike, Henry, and then some other dude. I didn't know who he was, but I was like, oh, I mean,
some other like.
he seems like
deep
he's somebody because he's with a bunch of somebodies. You know, I was like, I don't know what he does, but I'm gonna guess he's a badass for sure.
Tyson had a hard time ripping his shirt.
Oh yeah.
He's just struggling.
Yeah, so he was that, and then we were just watching Netflix and stuff because once we were in there and everything, like we weren't really allowed to go anywhere, so we were just messing around,
I
joking
mean,
around.
they gave Sandhagen a basketball hoop. Did y'all play ball at all or no?
Oh, we didn't get a basketball hoop. Well, I mean, so you weren't able to leave the premises of the hotel, and the hotel did have a basketball court, but it was also Vegas in the summer, so outside was like 105 degrees.
yeah.
So
Nobody was willing to run it?
We were staying inside of our air conditioned room, but it was cool though because it was our room, and then we had our room had a couch with a pull out bed, and then one room, and then another like bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and then right next to it was another room that they gave us, and it was kind of cool because like it had my name on it and stuff. I was like, hey, look, yeah. So then we walk in there though, and they basically gutted that room, threw mats on the floor, a little portable sauna in the corner, and then there was like a bedroom that they just moved everything else that was in that room into, and then so like the mattress was right there, so then we grabbed that mattress, we brought it back into our room, and then everyone had like a nice comfortable spot to sleep.
Nice.
Adam Woods just said Rashad Evans. He was in that crowd too.
Was he? I didn't see Rashad.
Adam Woods would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Rashad.
Yeah, Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
Sugar
that's cool.
Rashad.
What did you guys think about the fights this weekend?
Fights this weekend were good.
Oh
They're
man,
awesome.
I thought Nunes was gonna like run through that chick. So she was way tougher than I was giving her credit for. I was
I knew
like,
she would be tough.
I was like, but I didn't think she was.
chin
I thought it was gonna
like
be like first round, second round, it was gonna be over because she hits hard.
Well, Nunez also said she's like, I wanted to go 5 rounds because everybody was all talking crap on my cardio, so I wanted to show y'all I could go 5. But it's like,
She hit her pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm like,
She
I
was,
think anybody
yeah,
can go
no,
5
because
behind
she was
her.
cracking her. I was just like,
And actually, Felicia was returning in a few of them because I saw in like the slow mo, you could see in like a few of the exchanges, like, oh, Felicia landed like maybe 1 or 2, like in a few exchanges.
She left and she looked like Joanna.
Yeah,
she
I
was-
haven't seen anyone look like that.
all
ever.
kinds.
What
of
do you guys
swollen.
think about that? Like, cause I heard some controversy of like, because even when I was watching the fight, I'm like, damn, y'all really like the corner's really gonna let her go out for one more? There's no way for her to win. She's not gonna catch her.
Are we just
She's
in
not-
that time period where you just let it go?
Yeah.
Because there have been times when
I mean, I definitely would never want my coach to be like throwing the towel. I'm like, because I mean, as a fighter, if there's 1 second left, I can still knock the guy out. All right,
Yeah.
you know, like there's still a chance.
There's still a
I can be
chance.
losing 5 rounds, like just getting my ass beat, but that last second, I can catch you. And when in anything,
it's
just
been proven.
Yeah.
and
a
then
lot.
you can. So, I mean, as long as there's like a
Garbrandt. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I mean, he
that was clean.
Hold it out.
And he
On
was
the
just like
buzzer.
this, and he's just like, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That
clean.
was pure boxing technique. Just
So you know, as long as there's time on the clock, I'm like don't take me out of here. But with that said, you know, like we only get one kind of brain throughout this
the problem
our
is, like,
life.
it's
So like I
hard.
mean, if I'm just getting my ass beat, I mean I wouldn't. And if they asked me at that time, I'm gonna say no, don't throw in the towel. But that's why you gotta have coaches and just a team around you that
Yeah.
legitimately cares about you and is looking out for you to make that that right decision. Because it's that longevity that you're looking for. I mean, okay, you lost this one. We weren't as ready as we thought. We thought we
9
were.
fights. She had 9.
Well, go ahead. Let's save your brain so you can do this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not a war. We're not going to fight for territory, gold, or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a sport.
Yeah.
matchup.
It's not.
You
It's
need
not to
live-
the death. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to live through this to fight another day,
Yeah.
and that is important to remember. Although in the moment,
Yeah. No. So
you're
like,
trained for this.
I'm gonna leave that fully to whoever I trust to be in my corner, because I know me right there. I'm gonna be like, nope, let's go. I'm there. And even when he says like, no, it's over, I'm gonna be kind of like,
Pissed.
like why? Like, nah, I'm gonna get him. But I fully can understand. Because I know that if they did ever, throw in the towel, it was the right reason or in the right, thing to do.
Real quick, Rich Palomino says Gabe Green, the man, the myth, the legend.
That's a fact.
Rich is a cool guy, man. Before I haven't seen him since before quarantine, but he would come down to our gym and spar all the time. I think got a belt for King of the Cage.
Yep.
He's a good little fighter
He's
too.
legit, man.
Yeah, it was Rashad Evans.
Rashad, Sugar
At that
Rashad,
big-
yeah.
At that the AEW event.
Oh, he looks different with
Yeah,
the.
he's got dreadlocks.
Yeah, the
So,
dreadlocks.
Rashad
make it-
Evans.
That's right.
Interesting.
It's all good. That's cool. That's more of what I'm learning is the big ties with MMA and pro wrestling.
MMA is getting like not. It's always been big, but now it's because you'd be surprised. I go some places, and we're in the MMA world, so we think it's like really, really, really huge. But there's some people who you're like talk about MMA, and they're like, so like you're like a wrestler, or and they have like no idea.
So
And
you
I'm
do
like,
UFC?
yeah, or like that, like. And so, but now when they ask me, I'll be like, yes, actually, kind of, I do UFC, so that's
I
cool.
do.
But yeah,
That's a cool thing to say.
I left when I fought Javier at the Shrine for Combate. I went back to the hotel because they put us all up, and the guy at the door was asking me, how does this work? Like, how do you guys choreograph all this stuff? And I was just like a little like, I was like, what do you mean? This is real. We actually fight. And he was like, really? And after I was like, yeah, like this isn't fake. He's like, but some guys
you
don't even look.
imagine?
He's like, you guys don't like, they come back and they're not even hurt. I'm like, because they're better than the other guy.
called winning.
Like,
Once you get in there,
yeah. So there's
Could you imagine trying to choreograph like? So I want you to elbow me right on the orbital right here at around like 2 minutes in.
and then I'm gonna act like I got knocked out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
act like I got
really,
knocked
really good.
Yeah.
Well, now I noticed that slowly UFC is going back to the old school roots back in the day when Tito Ortiz used to come out with flames popping out. I think they're trying to go back to that same kind of like back in the day how now wrestling's so huge with big screens and
One
fireworks and
championship,
everything else.
actually. Like, they're the most. If you look at all their walkouts, they're the funnest walkouts in martial arts.
Bellator's walkouts are pretty cool too. They
Bellator's
really
fun.
let the individual be. You know, like what do you want for your walkout? Like what do you?
I
what are you
loved
trying to
Raymond
do?
Daniels at, like, you know, in the same event Joshua Jones fought at. Like, his was fun. Like, he just came out and all that. You could tell he was just feeling himself, and you know, he ended up knocking the guy out. And I'm pretty sure the guy got flash knocked out like 4 times in like
It
2
has
minutes.
a lot to do with the fighter's character too, because
Yeah.
some guys are shit talkers and some guys just want to get to business.
Mm-hmm.
But man, there are fruit flies all over this place, driving me crazy. But anyways,
Yeah.
they want to be remembered. I know I'm trying to catch them. I'm doing my best
Yo,
here.
son, no.
But it's important. That's just one of the things, because a lot of what we do at Gym Crashers, we do the local stuff. We're doing CXF, Lights Out, Spar Star,
Yeah.
Epic, whatever we get asked to do. And a lot of fighters are developing their skills, but they have not developed this part of it, the media part of it, which is huge, because in normal days, you're getting a barrage of people that want to know who Gabe Green is right now, and interrupting the thought process of focusing on the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure you got some of that, because it's all
Yeah.
part of the game.
And then even like, I mean, I lost the fight, and I'm getting people hitting me up like, "Hey, let me interview, let me interview." I'm like, "Oh man, imagine if I won. This would be crazy."
I don't know why we never got you on before, but I'm glad we got you now.
He just had injuries and he couldn't drive one time.
Yeah.
It was a mix of stuff.
But I'm here now.
Question for you. Someone online wants to know about your Cribs episode.
My
hell?
so
You're independently wealthy?
I am definitely not independent.
I was about to say, you made the smart decision?
No. See, I'm a dork, really, and like, you know, I'm not like you were talking about shit talkers and stuff. I'm not a shit talker. I'm someone who legitimately enjoys the fight, and that's what I go out there to do. And I legitimately love being myself. So I'm like a goofball, and we were bored in quarantine at the hotel, and then after I was like, "Hey Max," he's like, "What?" I was like, "Let's shoot an episode of Cribs," and he's just like, "What do you mean?" After I was like, "I just have an idea. Pull out your phone." So after I was like, "Just go outside, knock on the door, and I'm gonna open it up." And then so I just gave him like a little tour around our hotel and stuff like that. I was like, so like the.
Flex on him.
Yeah. I was just like, this is how it is. And like, I mean, our room was, it was funny because it's a bunch of guys in a room. Our room was kind of a mess. So I was like, I just kind of threw the blankets on the thing. So like,
This
it
is
didn't
where the
look
magic
as
happens.
messy.
Joshua Jones just sitting like, paint me one of your
It was
French
actually
girls.
him, Max and not Max, Tracy and Josh went to, like, they were ordering food or something, so they weren't even in the room at the time. It was just me and Max. And then yeah, like, I actually went up to the fridge, and I was like, this is where the magic happens. Yeah. After I was like, well, not right now, because I can't eat anything. Yeah. But and then like I was going around, and then I think I said something about there's a mattress, the mattress that we took from the other room. After I was like, have you heard of a pull-out couch? But this is a pull-down bed. And I like dropped it and stuff, and everyone was like, yeah. So I was just being a dork and stuff. And then the funny thing was, I should have checked before. We actually go out to the pool, and I was like, yo, so you guys got to check out my pool. And I go up to the thing to use my card to unlock it, and it's like red because the pool's not open. So totally on camera, it's like me just like messing up real bad. Because I was like, after I like look at the camera, I'm like, just playing. And then I go on to the next thing, yeah. But I'm just a dork.
You know, just playing off limits.
I love that. No, that's cool, though. We got to put that out. You got to edit this and put this thing out. It's got to be hilarious.
That is funny.
Some funny stuff. Anyways, we're coming up on that time. I'm going to bring on Sean Lerma to sit in for Bull or No Bull. Come on, Sean. All right. You got to guess if Joey's telling the truth.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, jeez.
He's lying. No, I'm just,
9 times out of 10.
Welcome to Bull or No Bull. This is where I have 3 stories. One of them is true. So these stories may take place in my past. These stories may take place now. Stories may take never ever. You know, it's just you just got.
I don't think they ever took place.
well, I mean, I didn't. He said he was a dancer, and I was a little skeptical. But then we saw the footage.
You'd be surprised.
This is the first time we saw footage.
You'd
I
be
just,
surprised.
Hey,
Okay.
that's not bad.
9 times out of 10, it's usually the one that like you don't think is true.
I'm trying to like, you know, just I'm like, okay, so he dances. He okay, all right. I think all right.
So you get it now. You get it now. Okay. Well, these are some new stories. I gotta stop saying some of the old stories because people are saying, "Oh, we're tired of hearing the same old shit about blah blah blah." So these are some new ones.
Finally.
I got a letter from HR saying.
Who would that be? I'm
Finally.
curious.
I got a letter from HR saying you gotta stop talking about this person and that person, and people know who you were. So
Yeah.
I gotta keep it clean and
Fresh.
brand new and fresh. You know,
Dirty
people
but fresh.
love hearing my fucking stories. But anyway. Well, here's my first story. You know, I was in the shower, just doing my thing after, it was hot and sweaty.
What kind of thing were you doing in the shower?
I mean,
Are you showering? or?
He's showering, doing
kind of
his
thing?
He's showering, doing his thing.
I was down showering, doing my thing, scrubbing my body, my sexy body. Next thing I hear a boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yo, what the hell is that? I'm like, okay, whatever. I thought it was a neighbor upstairs, There, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh shit. So I get out of the shower. I didn't have a robe to fit me, but I found a robe that was in there that was small. It was a robe to cover my shit. So I put it on. My man cleavage was hanging out. My junk was kind of like peeking, saying hello. And so I opened the door. It was police officers. I'm like, can I help you, sir? Is everything all right here? I'm like, what are you talking about? Is everything all right? Well, we usually got a report of a phone calls going around here saying that you were abusing somebody. I'm like, abusing somebody? Yeah, we just heard there was people saying there was a lot of yelling and screaming, oh God, blah, 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 please help me, oh God, put it in here. And now I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I go, well, just me and my old lady just having sex. And they looked at me like, really? I'm like, yeah, like, what are you trying to say? And then I dropped my towel. Look, you want to smell my dick? Smell it.
He did not say that to the police.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Opposite.
All right, hold
Come
on.
on.
So
That is bull.
I
That's my-
thought you were gonna get some good stories, man. Come on.
that's my first story.
I thought they were gonna be strippers. I thought it was gonna. I was like,
I
oh.
got those.
But did that ever happen to you where you're getting some scans, digging deep, and then people didn't realize that you were actually digging deep, and you get that nice knock at the door by some police officer saying, "What are you doing, sir?"
Yeah, and then did you ask that officer to smell your penis after too? Like,
No, not.
I believe that he had a robe on that didn't cover everything, but other than that,
He had a triple extra large robe on and it did not close.
other than that, I'm a little, I'm on the fence about this one.
All bullshit. One bullshit. What's the next one?
It happens to a lot of people out there. You get the,
But did it happen to you?
well, you'll find out after I'm done with my segment.
next week.
Let's see. What's next?
Third story. I mean, say third story. I'm saying third story like everybody says.
Oh, so it's already
Third
fake.
story.
No, second story. Growing up was very hard. Life being of who I am and being the brown colored skinned boy. And one day, I had a lady approach me and start speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I don't speak Spanish. So how can I help you?" And she's like, "Oh, you don't speak Spanish?" I go, "Yes, I don't speak Spanish." And what are you? I explained who I am, and she's like, call me names and everything else. And then she said she was going to call the INS on my family because there's nobody to take care of me. And I'm just like, what's your issue? And so basically I was pissed. So I ran back as a child and I grabbed some fruit and I started throwing at her. And I ran after her. After I ran, she called me a couple other racist names and she called, of course, trying to call the police. But at the time, there was no cell phones at the time. So she had to go to a rotary phone to call 911. And I pretty much escaped the issue. And next thing I get another knock at the door saying, police. I'm like, what do I do now? Well, do you have a son? And like, do you live here? Because we saw some people witnessing that he ran to the house and then everything else. So therefore, I got fucked because I was throwing fruit at a lady that was assuming that I was.
So did you got caught after the?
No, I didn't get caught that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have sex with her?
What's
He just like it was like a walk by fruiting. He was just
It's like a walk by fruit.
that's all it was.
What kind of fruits did you throw at her?
These are
threw
good
like
questions.
bananas
These are
and
good
apples,
questions.
bro.
Bananas and what?
Bananas and apples.
So a soft and a hard fruit. So okay.
But I mean, I've been racially approached by women before, so it's kind of believable. But
Well,
Okay.
here's my third story. Do you ever fart during sex?
honestly, I've never done that.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm calling bullshit. Especially have a hard day of just eating a lot of food, and then she decides to hop on top of you, and she just give you that good little pouncing, and then
it's never happened to me.
what happened to me? No,
A good big meal really gets Joey going,
But you didn't hear it, so I kept on going, and she was like, "Yo, like, what the fuck was that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And of course, I blame it on my dog that was like laying there right next to us because she assumed it was me. But I farted really bad. This shit felt good too because I relieved some pressure. As being a big dude, you got to do that. I mean, back in the day when I was skinny, I was able to pound, grind, and pound all day. But now that I'm a little chubbier and bigger, It sucks sometimes. You got to release some gas to get more motion to the ocean in certain places.
Yeah, especially when we got 2 pumps.
Oh, he only got one pump.
1 pump. That's even worse.
He only has one huevo.
Yeah, 1 pump per ball.
Single huevo, man.
Oh, that was going to come to my 4th story.
Oh, we only had 3. Is the 4th one the real one?
No, that was it.
Oh, it's all bullshit.
But yes, I do have 1 ball. That's not true. I was born with 1 nut. It's like a freaking softball. It is what it is. I don't have 2, so it happens, bro. Some people are born with 2 nuts. I was born with 1, so it's like a wrecking ball.
The 1 pixel thing makes sense now. Okay. All right.
So those are my 3 stories. One, getting knocked on the door because I was pounding the shit out of it and had police officers come by thinking I was abusing my wife. Second story was getting called by the police officers throwing fruit at the lady because assumed that I was a little wet to the back. And then the third one was me, letting it go while it was she was letting it go.
And blaming the dog.
And blaming the dog.
That
Well, I thought we was sleeping, but it was just like I had to blame something.
personally, I
I had to blame somebody.
Should have blamed her.
That sounds
I'm
Joey. That Joey would.
I'm gonna say the 3rd story. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's what I'm. That's
I
what
think
I'm
the
gonna go
first
for.
one, I don't think that you could pound long enough for them to call the cops. The second one,
What are you talking about?
I'm just.
I don't think he's getting away with asking an officer to sniff his dick. Like,
And then this. Yeah, I just think the third one is the most believable.
I feel like the second one is
10
just,
years ago, I was a little more energetic. So I was like a porn star back in the day, bro. I used to go on walls, tables, all over the kitchen countertop. The patio, outside
Was
the
it a
patio,
granite
everything.
countertop? It wasn't a
Just
wood
round
table,
town all
was it?
day, just sweating.
Just in Zumba for an hour. He got cardio. Bro.
Yeah, talking that shit.
we saw the video.
you saw the Zumba.
That's me.
I mean, these. I'm saying these hips.
And the hips don't lie. Yeah.
And I was like, that's what it would sound like. Yeah, like
I thought you just started like applauding yourself afterwards. Like, oh, I did a great job.
that was the finish. That was the finish. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Anyway, so-
I mean, if I had to choose, I'd say the 3rd one is the most. Like, I could see that one being true.
You ever had a girl fart on you while you're having sex either?
I've had a girl fart on me having sex.
That's what I'm talking about. It happens to everybody. One time I was doing it. One time, and I was grounding and pounding, and I guess I was ball deep. I can't say balls deep. I was ball deep. And next thing you know, she let one loose, and it felt like somebody was tickling my balls. And I started laughing. The reason why I did that is because I do this Home Alone thing where I put the legs up and put the feet next to my face. I go, ah! And so she started, Kevin!
Yo, Kevin.
Kevin! I thought someone was tickling my nuts. It was her fucking gas hitting my nutsack. So anyway, we'll give you the answers next week. Tune in.
Wow.
Want to hop on?
Yes.
Hop on. Give Gabe some questions.
Come on, Francesca.
You lead, Joe. Take us out of here.
That's right. That's right.
How's it going?
Oh, nice to meet you. No,
Very nice to
we
meet
hug
you.
it.
Yes, yes.
Now, have you met the lovely Francesca before?
Never.
Francesca,
Not in
explain.
person.
Yeah.
Explain who you are to this gentleman.
Well, I mean, we know each other through social media, so I don't know. But I
Fran be knowing everybody.
yeah, I try. But I was so excited when you were coming on. I was like, oh my god, I have to go. I have to stop by. I was like on my way to LA, and I was like, I have to stop by.
Is that why you're here?
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Chocolate cake! Chocolate cake! I mean, Gabe Green's coming.
My one that tickles.
I hate you.
So you have any questions?
I don't know. Have you already talked about your fight, your last fight?
I mean,
Well, I don't know.
Break
I
it
haven't
down.
been. Break it down. I don't know. Well, I just wanted to say congratulations because that was fucking dope.
Thank
I
you,
mean, I
thank
was
you.
so hyped. I mean, like, Kevin Holland's cool or whatever, but, you know, I was, like, really hyped because I know D-Rod's camp and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, it makes it more exciting when you actually know the people and you know the other side's, like, good, and you're like, this is going to be a banger, and it was, so.
thank you.
Nice job. But, what was that like? You said you had gotten the call at like 4:30 or something, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm just going.
Yeah, I mean, I was sleeping. My brother came, woke me up, and he was like, my coach was trying to get a hold of me, and then he was just like, we're fighting. Like, let's go, pack your bag. So opened up my stuff, threw everything in. He came like an hour later with the rest of my corners, and we just took off. Because I mean, I wasn't gonna tell them no, because they've already tried to reach out to me a couple of times, and I had to tell them no before. So as long as I had like the ability to walk into the cage, I was like, I'm gonna fight. I don't care who it is. I'm going.
But like, you couldn't have waited like an hour later, or is it just like you just gotta get to Vegas ASAP?
That was part of the thing. They're like, if you want to fight, because it was me and someone else that they were trying to fill that spot with. They're like, if you want to be the guy fighting, you need to be here by the time before he could get there. And he was like on the other side of America, so he had to catch a flight. So as long as I could get there before his flight could get there, I could fight. So we were like, nope, let's go.
It sounds like the coolest road trip movie ever.
No, we only made one stop. It wasn't that cool.
I mean, how fast were you guys going on the freeway? I can imagine.
Nah, I think Tracy kept it like solid 80. We weren't going super fast.
The drive to Vegas isn't very exciting either.
No, it's literally just desert.
I like the drive to Vegas, especially at nighttime. You see all the UFOs flying around. It's just kind of crazy. Zizek's Road.
It's dope when there's no traffic. Like that's what's odd about the road to Vegas is you hit certain points of traffic and you're like, we're in the middle of nowhere.
There was no traffic at all that early in the morning. Nice. In a pandemic.
It's hard to piss out in the desert. It's kind of scary out there.
Yeah, like otherwise we probably would hit something, but nah, it was pretty smooth the whole way.
It's true.
That's dope.
They even stop in Barstow for a nice little quick bite. That's everybody's kind of like destination.
Yeah, nah.
You
know what?
About food.
That one stop they made was for McDonald's, and they're like, Gabe, you want anything? I was like,
no.
They Dominic Cruz you.
Yeah, but you know what? I saw that what was it, them betted it when they were like eating pizza in front of them, and my family does that to me all the time.
Yeah, it was
Whenever
pizza.
I have a fight,
they had one where they had McDonald's, and he was sitting there, and he was just staring at him like, nice.
Yeah, they fully like day before weigh-ins, they come and like they always buy a bunch of pizza, and they have a pizza party, and pizza's like my favorite food, and they're just like making the place smell amazing, and they're just like, you chose to be a fighter, and I'm just like, cool guys.
It's that mental toughness gives you that edge.
They're like, I will get some tomorrow or after the fight. I'm like, all right, that's cool, guys.
How much like off, since you're going up in weight, how much off were you? Did you really have to cut a lot, or like was it?
No, I mean, I've been walking around after. It's because I haven't fought since forever, 2018. So when I back in 2018, I was walking around a lot, smaller, and then I think I just hit like second puberty, and I just filled out a little bit, and so I've been walking around. I swear it's a thing. It's a thing.
I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on
thing.
second puberty.
So
you're giving me hope. Like, I can gain weight still.
Yeah. Like, hey, you're gonna wake up one day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go from a bantamweight to a featherweight one day.
So like, yeah, at like the same amount of like body fat and everything on my body, I was like just 10 pounds heavier. So we were already contemplating like, it should like, I think I might just be a 170, like a welterweight now. And then I never did any kind of strength training too. When I was at 155, I would just run forever. So and then I like would hit weights and stuff. Nothing was super crazy because of the corona and all that stuff going on. So it was just like. But I did I did some push-ups and some pull-ups and stuff, so I felt buff. And then, so I walked in, when I showed up at the hotel, it was 180, like 185. So, I mean, 15 pound cut. It was pretty smooth. It just.
15 pounds,
Yeah, I mean, it was nice, super nice.
Worse, could have gone to 155.
No, yeah, if it was at one, I probably would have died. I would just cut my leg off and then hopped into the cage.
A little bit of that.
No, I wish I could lose 15 pounds like that. I take a shit 15 pounds and I get it back after I go to McDonald's.
See, but that's the thing. You just weigh in, then you start drinking. And the cool thing about the UFC is like they have all your meals for you, and then it's like they're like super scientists or something because they like have everything dialed in. They're like, how much do you weigh? And then they're like writing everything down, and then they're like, all right, drink this. Take 10 minutes to drink this. After you're done, take 15 minutes to drink this.
So wait,
and
they
then
gave you like
drink.
a meal plan?
Yeah, you can ask, so it's totally up to you if you want to take it, like, and if they're like, do you want us to do this for you? And it's like it's free, it's part of the contract. So and then I was stuck there and I couldn't go anywhere, so I was like, yeah, for sure, just bring me everything so I don't have to do anything. So yeah, and then so as far as the rehydration goes, they had everything for us, and it was like, yeah, it was super cool, because usually I'm rehydrating and refueling and I'm just kind of just like drinking a bunch of water and a bunch of food, and I'm like, I think I feel pretty good and ready to fight now. You know, I think this worked. You know, but yeah, it's more I'm just kind of winging it. But now it was like to a T. They're like, drink this at this time. Now, like it's been this many hours, you can have like this type of carb. Now you can have this, and then they had like a meal for me, and they're like
going from like arena taco trucks to like
yeah. So that was super cool. I was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to that for the next fight
Right?
too.
You're like,
Yeah, I was like, I don't have to think anymore. I'm like,
And the
this is amazing.
institute, right? What is that? UCI.
Performance. UCI. Did you go to University of
Somebody,
California, Irvine to get your weight cut done, or?
Somebody medicated right now.
No, but they
Did you, like,
UFCPI.
use it and, like,
So like they totally, it was pretty much
sounds
all.
like a disease.
No, it was all taped off the Apex Center and stuff. But if we wanted to, they would like clear it, make they're just getting time slots for everybody if you wanted to use it.
I saw some people in there.
Yeah, so like you had it available to you. They wanted to make sure that no one was there at the same time.
Yeah.
But they cleared out this room next to us and gave us mats and stuff like that.
I
So
I saw that. They were like, they rented out like extra rooms for everybody. They had, I was like, wow, like they put in a lot of effort.
Yeah,
They put in a lot of effort.
And then
fighters.
at that point, you don't need I'm not gonna learn anything new on a bag doing combos or anything. I just needed a spot to sweat. So just the mat space next to this was fine. So we didn't leave the hotel to go over there or anything.
That's dope. What was it like fighting with no crowd? I know people ask that.
I mean,
I have to ask.
it was different because usually I'm a bit of a ticket seller and there's like 300 people coming to watch me and stuff. So usually when I walk out, everyone's like, and I'm like, and I'm taking it in. I like the walkout. I'm like, yeah, keep going, guys, keep going.
I am great.
Yeah,
I am the man.
I deserve to be here.
I am the dude.
But yeah, so there was none of that. But I mean, it was a little weird, but I don't think it really affected me or anything. As soon as like my walkout song came on, I was like, all right, dialed in, ready to go.
That's interesting because on Joe Rogan, when Gaethje was on there, I don't know if you heard the podcast or whatever, he was like, I think part of the reason that contributed to my performing well was that there wasn't a crowd. I didn't get emotional. I didn't try to bang with Tony. I stayed composed and I just kept doing what I was supposed to do. Did you feel like during the fight that affected, or once you're in there, some people kind of just get blinders and you just do your job? It doesn't really affect too much.
Yeah, I don't think it affected me too much. I mean, I got to hear my coach a lot clearer than ever before.
Yeah.
But Tracy doesn't really tell me much besides like or even in between rounds, he's like, "Are you ready to go now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, cool, go get him." I'm like, "All right." Yeah, so it was I could hear him though.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah," like he just kept on telling me to he's like, "Go back to Orthodox." I was like, "All right, cool." Switch back to Orthodox. But yeah, I was once the fight started, I was kind of just having fun, happy to be there. So it wasn't, because that's what it is more than anything to me. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's like my job and I'm getting paid for it, but I'm having an extremely fun time in there and just enjoying being there and not really focused about any of the outside stuff.
Because it looks like it. Like you can see it.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. Like that's just, we were standing across the cage from each other and I'm looking at D-Rod and he's like, "We're gonna touch gloves." I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we? So we got there and then I noticed on before the third round started, like luckily D-Rod's a good guy. Like if he was an asshole, because I mean you don't even have to do the glove touch, right? I walked out there, I gave him a high five, walked past him, tapped him on the stomach, and then turned around. It was a giant thing. I could have just been and he could have just cracked me, because I totally had my guard down 100% until I turned around, because I was so caught in the moment of having
Get
just
Alexander
the time of my life,
Hernandez,
So after the fight was done, everything was said and done, what'd you do after? Did you go eat a lot of food, or
I had the greatest steak ever. It was, I don't remember the place, it sucks, but it had eagles in the name, and that's why it caught my eye. I was like, eagles are cool, so let's go there. And I had a 24-ounce steak with some lobster mac and cheese, and some French fries, and then we had some beers, but it was so good. It was
that's my dream right there.
Right.
This it's funny because we order it to go, and then so they put the plastic forks and knives in there, And then we're all pulling our steaks out, and we're like, how are we supposed to eat it with this? So we just grab it, and we're eating steaks and just ripping it off. But
like a bunch of savages.
just like, yeah, and they're just like the steak
You just fought
juices.
somebody in a
Yeah,
cage.
you just fought somebody. Let me eat a steak with my bare hands.
Yeah, we'd even, for the mac and cheese too, we were just like,
Oh, that's awesome.
nah,
The restaurant owners were like, these fighters are nuts. Like, yeah.
it was funny because like I had the black eyes and stuff too. So like I walk into the steak place and everyone's dressed because you could like dine in over there. So everyone's dressed all nice and like suits and stuff. And I walk in just like everyone's just looking at me like I'm like.
What happened? I just got into a fist fight.
No, actually, whenever someone asked me, I said that I got into an argument and a fight with one of my coworkers because essentially that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essential coworker.
That is
Essential
funny.
workers.
That is funny. So, I guess
Got Adam for his segment.
Yes.
Bring Adam on. Put on the fight card.
Actually,
Yeah.
do you want to? Actually, we'll switch Joey out.
Yeah.
Put Fran on, 'cause she might.
It's now the
It's
fight
like our
card.
Let's go, Adam.
conversations, but recorded now. This is just what we do
I'm back.
anyway. It's just debate fights.
You can move all my shit over there. Stuff. I mean.
Let me grab out the betting odds.
We introduce Adam Araby. Introduce Adam Araby. We'll let Joe do that.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the man, the myth, the Waldo, the legend, Adam
The arrow.
Arab B.
The arrow.
It's a,
B.
A lot of words.
Keep saying mute.
Hey man, you didn't see that Zumba class, all right? You better have saw that Zumba.
You couldn't talk after Zumba.
yeah.
Let's see fight card.
All right. So we're gonna just start off with the prelims.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let me bring it right up. Ba-ba-da-da-da.
I haven't studied this.
He's actually coming up with a rundown for the UFC fight card. I believe this.
Well, the first fight is Derek Minner versus Jordan Griffin, and personally, I think Derek Minner's gonna take this one because I was kind of watching a little bit of both of them. They're pretty even in skill. Not like, obviously it's an early prelim, or it's a prelim, so it's not like the most talented fighter. But Jordan Griffin, great athlete, has a few great KOs. I remember even on the Contender Series, he had a pretty slick. I think it was like just a Darce or a guillotine he snuck in, but right after there was a lot of just long shots. But honestly, I really think Derek can take it just because he's a little bit better of a grappler, so I think he'll just go 5 rounds and just kind of grind it out.
Was Griffin's last fight against Chaz Scully?
I think so. 'cause
That was
both
a
of them are
crazy
on,
fight.
yeah, both of them are on a little bit of a losing streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is
I
definitely.
like Griffin's last name, so I'm gonna go with Griffin.
Oh, he throws some
We go
bombs. So he throws
facts
some
here.
heat.
This is
Yeah, and he's
Odds on that, by any chance?
he was pretty good
Not
in
on
the
the prelims, though. I
scrambles
got the main
too
ones.
against Scully. I think that's how you say his last name. But
I'm not too sure if there's a fight that's on the cards that I haven't seen yet, but it's supposed to be on the card. It's Ivy versus Aguilera.
Christian
Yeah.
Aguilera, yes.
Yeah, Christian Aguilera's fighting
that's on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Ivy.
I was watching a breakdown
The
on.
Aquaman.
Yeah, and that's.
Put money on that fight.
Bro,
Yeah, I go with Christian on that
Aguilera all
one.
the way.
Yeah, I watched
don't-
Christian's last fight and it was really.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. I was like, this dude's ready. Like he's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember he like came off the cage flying down with like a flying like Dan Henderson.
And he has a
fist.
lot of experience, like
Yeah.
a lot of cage time. Like
He's
I don't
heavy
know. That's what I
hands.
look at when I'm looking at the matchups. I'm like, this dude. I think his last fight he went into the 4th round or something. But every other fight, it's like first round, second
First
round. I'm like,
Christian
I don't
Aguilera's
know.
face says UFC all over it.
Yeah.
What's he do for a living? Is he a doctor? Well, no.
No,
my
he's a model.
He's a model, bro.
He's a model, bro.
my very very first amateur fight, he was actually in the corner of my opponent. So, and I remember fighting him after. So I beat the guy, but I was like with my team, and my guys were like, "You see that guy over there? His name is Christian Aguilera. He's pretty good. You'll probably end up like crossing paths with him later." So it's funny that now we're both in the UFC. Yeah.
You guys both just got in.
Yeah, but no, yeah, he hits super hard, and then Ivy's a pretty solid wrestler, so I think it's definitely gonna be a good fight to watch.
And plus, like Ivy's like 6'2", and Christian's only 5'9", which I thought was interesting. But
Yeah.
now it's like I'm pretty sure Christian's cardio has gotten a lot better. Like you said, his last fight went to the 4th round.
no, I mean the Aquaman, the other dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. His fight went into the 4th round, then he got the finish or whatever. But I don't know. Experience is a huge equalizer. You know, Christian has a lot of fights compared to this dude. I think he has like 9 fights. What is he, 6
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
not listed,
Dude,
yeah.
usually Google is on it when it comes to the fights. I think
They've
Tapology,
been like slapping
he's
it
on
together quick, so it
Yeah.
hasn't been too
What was
official.
that called?
Tapology has the right card, though, I think.
And then Christian always has like his artist career. He always takes some people's cars.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at it.
Halloween.
If your car is dirty on Christian Aguilera, you'll get a dick on it.
Yeah, and then after is Ryan Benoit versus Tyson Nam. And
I'm going on him just for his last name.
Well, I'm actually
You see?
gonna go
You
Tyson
see?
Nam.
You see? You see? Yes. Yes. Yes.
That'll be an
What are we
interesting
talking
fight.
about?
Have you seen Ryan fight? I don't think I've seen any of his
Not
fights.
too much. I remember from what I remembered, he's a little bit more of like the smaller, more compact, like heavy hitter in this one, I believe.
Yeah.
And Tyson Nams, he's gonna be a little more longer, like a little more kind of like even skilled. So it's a little bit more of like technique versus athleticism in this one. And personally,
He has
I'm
a lot
actually
of
going.
fights.
I'm gonna go with Tyson Nam just because of more experience and like I said, he's the bigger fighter. It's flyweight, which has
shit.
somehow become one of the more active divisions. Like 2 years ago, we were on the verge of cutting it, and now it's somehow
Yeah.
just come like
There's so
super
many
competitive.
Tyson's been around for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
He comes from
He's a vet.
Grappling Unlimited in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Way back when he was
You're gonna
fighting.
say he was from
Didn't he fight Kaikar first?
Man.
He did,
Last
yes.
fight?
He had
Okay.
like, yeah, he had like,
He knocked
Tyson
out-
Nam's opponents have not been easy. Like he had Kai France,
France.
you said, and another,
Who
Alex
has-
Perez, I think too.
Yeah, I mean, Kaikar France has one of the longest reaches, and he's like the shortest dude in the flyweight division. He's like 5'4", and his reach is like always. I was like, why? How?
The human body is just crazy from person to person. Yeah. Yeah, because you can have like super long legs and super short arms, and it's just like
He's like a tripod.
Yeah, he's like a tripod.
People with the really long arms can scratch their knee standing straight up.
Right? Kevin Durant.
They
Little bit of that.
This giant uppercut from
Yeah, just from all the way back there. You're like, what is this?
That's so true. I remember like Fran always brings up like MMA, nobody throws uppercuts. I'm like, really? Nobody else does? And I'm like, oh wait, it's because I'm out here.
Yeah.
I don't have to like do all that. And then after is like Julia Avila versus Gina Mazzani, which is an interesting fight because actually Gina Mazzani's been waiting for a while to get a fight in the UFC. She's been actually
This is her debut.
yeah, I
UFC?
believe so. I think she's almost had a few or almost has been there.
Okay.
But may have been cut, but I don't know. But this is definitely like her time back. And yeah, she's been waiting to get a fight for a while, so she's been in camp for a minute. And I know like
Catching flies.
there's a lot of flies in here.
Yeah.
He has crabs.
But I know she even said on Ashley Evan Smith's podcast, that's what she said. She's like, I've been in basically like camp for however long.
Oh, so she's super hungry.
Injuries?
That's
It's just like opponents.
No, like
and
the way she described,
usual?
she's like, it's like I've been planning a wedding and I haven't had a date set, but I've been planning this
Oh,
wedding for the
shit.
longest time. So I've been like, normally I would have went probably Julia Avila just because she seems like the more like skilled fighter, but you know, just because Gina Mazzani has been longer in camp, just been
Yeah.
keeping active and fit, and
Fucking
like I
hungry.
said,
You can
yeah,
never
with
underestimate
everything
that.
going on, we just had
Hungry.
Gabe said he had 3 days notice, like. You know,
hungry.
so I think
Yeah.
like somebody who's been sitting waiting hungry, I'm gonna go with Gina Mazzani. What about you guys?
I mean, I don't know either of these fighters, so
I,
don't wanna make a pick.
I don't know either, but
I like Gina.
No one
I like
has the last
I like
name,
Gina.
so I didn't
That's
know
it.
that.
Yeah, you
I
know.
love how I'm doing the breakdown of Freelo's mid-text. A little bit off
Damn,
of
Gina.
info on the upcoming fight card.
Gina is Gina, bro. It's Gina, not Gina.
Get the fuck out of here. China.
All right.
I'm a vegetarian.
Up for that.
And then Charles Rosa versus Kevin Aguilar.
This is a good fight.
Yeah, this one I think is good. This is how many fights in is Kevin Aguilar into the UFC now?
I think this is his third. He
Yeah.
fought Dan Ige, and then he was,
Yes.
and then he fought Don Choi, that boy.
Duho Choi.
Is that a meal?
Duo Choi, and then
Is that a meal?
You say is that a number 3? Really?
Combo number 3?
yeah.
Some white rice.
Freelove corrected me. Gina's actually 1-3 in the UFC.
Oh.
So she's been in, but like I said, she's coming off of
Yeah.
a few losses and all that, so she's hungry. Been in camp. I'm still gonna go with her. But for this fight, actually, I'm feeling Charles Rosa just because I feel like activity and just being like fresh and just
Yeah.
being active really kind of plays off.
I mean, I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Aguilar. I mean, I feel like he hits fucking hard.
Oh, yeah.
He hits so hard, and he's a dog. Like Dan Ige, like that. He made it like all the way through 3 rounds, and Dan Ige lit him up low key, you know. And he was still coming forward and still moving. I mean, Charles Rosa, I'd say. I mean, coming off of that loss, like. It's not like he was beat up, you know, but he was definitely dominated for 3 rounds by Bryce Mitchell. That was like a crazy, you know, he took it to his own game, pretty much. I mean, Charles Rosa is like a legit black belt. But, you know, Aguilar does really well. I mean, he did really well against Dan Ige, who's a black belt, you know, took him down, was on the... I don't know, I don't think the advantage on the ground is as big of a gap as it is on the feet, even though Charles Rosa has pretty good boxing. I just think...
And he has that awkward, like, he'll go that karate sideways.
He's quick, though. Yeah, so I don't know.
And I think when you see somebody with, like, good boxing,
fight.
but they do that awkward, like, sideways stance, it really just throws somebody for a whirl if you're not used to that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I trust the power. If Aguilar can touch him. But Charles is quick. You know, I think he's a little quicker.
Tough guy, too.
Tough as shit.
Tough as all hell. And then moving on to the main card, which is a little more fun. I'm actually excited for this fight, Jordan Espinoza and Mark De La Rosa.
Yeah, they got something to prove.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to go with Jordan Espinoza on this one because he's a really exciting, like, he's overall pretty well-rounded, but he's an exciting striker because I don't know if you watched some of his highlights, but really strong in the clinch, really strong takedowns.
Very athletic.
Very sneaky with the Darce choke, too. Yeah. You know, and Mark De La Rosa, I believe, is more of like a traditional wrestler, and I think just we like.
He's a pretty good black belt. I mean, isn't he a black belt? Or I think he's. I don't know, but his last fight against Julian Paiva was the first time Mark has been stopped. I think he was like TKO'd, and that was, I don't know.
And crazy. I think like Jordan Espinoza is just like such a good athlete and so like exciting that.
Where's Jordan from?
Espinoza?
What does he fight out of? Do you know?
He looks like an action figure.
I do know that Mark De La Rosa changed his camp this time.
Really?
Yeah, he was at Oyama's with Alex Perez and those guys.
He's there now.
He's been for the last few weeks.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good job.
It's a little different because I know like the Oyama boys have been training straight through COVID. I mean, the pros only.
Yeah. Dude,
so.
Jordan Espinosa says it on Sherdog. Says Lutrell Yi MMA.
Okay.
So his jiu-jitsu's got to be pretty good.
Lutrell Lee or Lutrell Yi.
He's pretty, but I mean that's probably the best place, right, to go for camp, considering that Alex was the last person that beat Jordan, right, and choked him out, right?
Yeah.
With some crazy
with that
fucking
crossbody.
Like, what are we doing?
Fucking super squeeze that he did fucking on the wrong side of across the body, right? He did the head and arm on the opposite side.
Like, how do you even do that? Yeah.
Like, what you're right, a little bit of that.
Well, it's just like I think too. It's like I think because Mark De La Rosa is going to be the shorter fighter. He's going to keep trying to come in. Yeah. I think he's just going to keep getting caught by Espinoza in those exchanges. Like Espinoza is really dangerous in an exchange if you watch. Like he's not afraid to get gritty with you. He'll throw like 3 different strikes. He'll clinch up, throw knees, and they're strong. Hits. He can. Yeah.
He got what was it on the Contender Series? There was some where he was just like in a thing, got dropped, and then came back, and then ended up winning that fight or something.
I remember my favorite highlight where it was like a submission of him. He's like the guy straight up took him down, and he just like completely overpowered him and reversed it and just snuck a Darce in.
Yeah.
Sneaky jits.
Sneaky. Them Darces.
You like Darces, Gabe?
I mean, I do. My favorite jiu-jitsu move is the triangle. My favorite position is called "Who's Your Daddy?"
Yeah, we like that too. We like that too, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I have pretty long arms, so like Darces and stuff are just right up my alley for
sure. You have like crazy flexibility too. I saw someone in your I think it was your last fight. Something happened, and they ended up in full mount, and you literally picked your legs up, brought him in front of him, flipped it, reversed it, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? His knee is like.
It was so funny too, because like I get mounted and then you hear his whole crowd go wild, like, oh, he's gonna get him, and I was like, nah.
Just totally relaxed down there.
What other choke variations do you have from that Who's Your Daddy?
From Who's Your Daddy? So it's
Pin choke in the fishbone?
nah. from the Who's Your Daddy position, I go either head and arm or I like mounted triangle because I'm flexible.
Yeah.
So while they're like that, I like pop it up and just.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I seen pin chokes and fish bones. I seen a lot from Who's Your Daddy. I don't like them. My fat ass.
And then it just MMA. It's like if you get them there, especially like with the gloves, like it's really hard to take, and then you could just
smash your face in.
Yeah, and they can't go anywhere.
And for the people who aren't like as well versed in jiu-jitsu, if you could explain the positioning of like Who's Your Daddy?
So you get.
We do have some people who like are not the biggest.
You get their arm and you pull it across and then hold their hand underneath their head, so they're just like.
Oh yeah, you
I
basically
feel like
use
my
their
brother
arm to
has done that
cross
to me.
face.
Yeah, so they're stuck like this, and then you're like right here on the side and just fully controlled, and you can make them like you.
Triangle.
Just Who's Your Daddy?
Who's your
Yeah.
John Jones.
Yeah.
Get your leg through.
Yeah. So you just whoop whoop.
And you don't even have to go far because you're only here. That's it. Done.
Joey did that to a woman once.
I was. It happened to me when I was locked up in prison, and I wasn't happy.
That prison guard.
Yeah. They're like, "Who's your daddy?" I go, "I'm not. You're not my daddy."
Joey's guard got past multiple times.
But if you are, can you buy me some treats? Put some money on my books, daddy. So who's our next fight? All right, who's the next one?
This one I'm really excited for. Andre Touchy-Feely and Charles
Let's
Jourdain.
go, Sacramento.
Yeah.
All day.
I really like Feely for this fight because for one, Charles Jourdain is just kind of young, exciting striker. If you watch some of his highlights, this dude is an all-action fighter. He just comes right at you, throwing everything he has.
Wait, he was the one that just fought Du Hoi Choi.
Charles
right?
Jourdain? I believe so. Maybe,
Okay,
maybe,
that was
maybe,
okay.
maybe.
I confused the other dude with that.
Yeah, no, but
He
he's
just knocked him
good
out.
though. Like he's a fun guy to watch. Like I still remember I was watching highlights of this dude in other promotions, and you're just seeing him just bam, just dropping bombs,
He does
like throwing
crazy shit, too.
yeah, a lot of spinning attacks, a lot of spinning back fists, but Andre Feely's just been on a tear. Like he's been so
And
good.
to be honest, I think he was coming off a win. I
Yeah.
honestly thought he won his last fight.
I was
thought
a
he
big
fucking robbed.
I can't remember the last guy's name.
It's
like
the Nigerian dude.
the Nigerian guy, but
And then that right there, just like losing a fight that you think you should have won, really pumps you up to make sure,
Yeah.
like that.
he gave
that
him a lot of troubles too. Like he was switching from southpaw to orthodox.
Dude, and he got
just,
he ended the third round like with a big ass takedown. Like, okay, well, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
Yeah, and I remember like the guy he was fighting was literally just trying to take him down and just like was laying on him just to survive.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't
there was
do
there
much.
he didn't do much in my opinion, and I was just like,
Fuck, what is his name? Click on that. Click
Yeah,
on that little,
I'm gonna keep on.
click on that little face thing.
Sadiq Youssef,
Yeah.
completely forgot. But yeah.
yeah.
I was really on the hype train for Sadiq
Yeah,
Youssef.
I
Then
was
I saw that
excited
fight.
too.
I'm like, I am off this hype train.
Yeah.
Let me first take it
I
off.
was like, let me just pop off right here.
You're all hype. He's all. I remember after the fight, he's like, everybody saw how good my jiu-jitsu was. I trained with my jiu-jitsu coach every day. I'm like, dog, you just held side control. Like, I don't know.
Shut
if that
it
counts.
down. Shut it
don't
down.
know.
He's a really good fighter, though.
He's
I
really
still think
powerful,
Sadiq-
really great athlete. I just like
know.
after that fight, like I think that showed how good Andre Feely was because I was coming off of
Yeah.
right after Max Holloway had just given him the props of like that was my toughest fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like he's had what? It's literally 27 fights to 12 pro fights. Like.
Yeah. He's a murderer, man,
Yeah.
and
And I
especially-
understand Charles Jourdain is a little bit like that flashy, wild
Yeah.
style, but it's like
It's not
against a guy,
consistent. It's not
against a guy like
consistent.
Philly, it's like you're not gonna throw something he hasn't
Yeah,
seen
and
before.
especially like alpha male guy, like they tend to just they'll just go right through you. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one and kind of like get through it.
this is the best.
This one's really
This is the
fun.
best fight.
Yeah, right. Marab Davilishvili. I don't know how. Here, let me try it. Davilishvili.
we're gonna call him D.
Yeah, Marab versus Ray Borg.
Farsi, come on.
I don't. My dad never taught me.
Sometimes.
Damn, he knows how to say hummus, and it's hot in here. It's hot in here. Boom.
No, but I'm gonna go with Ray Borg at this fight because he's looked at great since that bantamweight. Like, and he has some of the fastest hands in the division. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. I think the last fight, I was like freaking out.
him
after
and
last
Ricky
fight.
Simone was great.
Oh
Like,
my
that was a
God.
great fight, and like that was a competitive fight up
Yeah.
until the last minutes. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm personally going with Ray Borg on that one. What do you guys think?
Fuck.
I like Borg. Speed kills.
Speed kills.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
And
I
then
don't
Free
think
Love
I'd
just
be-
said it's Ray Longo / Sarah Camp versus Jackson's, which is an interesting.
Good matchup.
What's
Yeah.
up, Free Love?
What up, Free Love? On the next one, this one's gonna be a really fun one. Carl Roberson versus Marvin Vittori.
Vittori all day.
You know, I'm going with Vittori on this one. Like, Robeson's a good striker, very good athlete, but
Dude,
I just think Vittori is just so good. Like,
I
he's
think-
such a dark horse in the middleweight division.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about this guy, but it's like
and he's
he went
mad,
all
bro.
rounds. Yeah, he went
He's
all.
fucking mad, bro.
Yeah,
I was-
expect
He was trying to fight
after
him.
that
I
thing.
was like, I know. I was like, bro,
Their little
this fight
confrontation.
doesn't happen. I was like, I got Marvin Vittori by KO in the lobby. I don't give a fuck. I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck.
he has a cool ass name too, Marvin Vittori.
Yeah.
Marvin Vittori.
I've sparred with him over there at Kings. He's
Really?
he's
What was that like?
fun.
Dude's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man.
On
He's
to
a
the-
big
and
dude.
then on to the fun main event: Jessica Evil Eye versus Cynthia Calvillo. Who do you guys are going with?
It's
I
gonna be a banger.
This is gonna be a fun one.
guess.
Calvillo's got a lot to prove, man. She wants to get to that,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, this is
Coming
her
up
first
from
time. This
coming
is
up
her
from
first time.
strawweight, yeah, to flyweight.
Yeah.
I personally am going with Evil Eye on this one, just because I think she has the size advantage. She's been in there a couple more times. She's been in there with Valentina.
Yeah. I mean,
When you face a force like that and you're coming off, and I watched her last fight like after Valentina, and she was just like looked like a completely different.
well, it's
fighter.
interesting, right? Because both of these ladies missed weight their last fight.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of an interesting. I mean, Jessica was definitely the bigger girl in the last one, and then Cynthia Calvillo fought like my favorite female MMA fighter, Marina Rodriguez, and I don't know. I mean, that was a draw, right?
I believe yes,
Yeah, it
because
was
it
a
says
draw.
there's a draw on Calvillo's record, but I just don't think Calvillo's gonna be big enough for this one.
Yeah.
you know?
See, I'm a fan of like someone just going out there and fighting. So I'm gonna go.
I know.
yeah.
I'm kind of like.
I'm just rooting for her. You know, like I want her to
Yeah,
win.
you're checking
That's
these,
it.
like,
you know?
I don't know,
I'm
this
just gonna
is
be
like
nice
a-
right here, but you're
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of rooting for Jessica Brown Eye. I think I'm going for all day.
Brown Eye.
It's
I'm
like-
gonna go with
it's-
Evil Eye on this one.
It's
You know,
a weird main event. I kind of. I
Yeah.
don't know. I would see maybe the.
I like
maybe
Evil Eye's
the main event.
enthusiasm. You know, she's like out to the crowd. She's like, "Yeah, I'm the underdog. Give me the underdog chance."
Is Cynthia still with Team Alpha Male? Is she still there?
I believe so. But let's
I
see.
think she's still there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
she still is.
So,
And
Mr.
then-
Gabe Green, not to cut the subject off, I know we're running a little short on time here. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, man, thanks
I
for
mean,
having
I can't
me.
wait to have you on in the future upcoming events. Now, where can they find you on your social media?
So I made it super easy. It's just Gifted Gabe Green everything. Gifted Gabe Green on Twitter, Gifted Gabe Green on Instagram, Gifted Gabe Green on Snapchat. I just flipped off the camera.
That's okay.
I have a giftedgabegreen.com. It's Gifted Gabe Green. Just
And where can they
everything.
find you on your social media?
You can find me at Francesca_Dominique. And then my media channel is The Blunt Review.
Blunt review. That I can tell her eyes are kind of blunt right now. And then next, what about you, Mr. Adam?
On Instagram, same thing, adam.araby, ARABY, and then check out the Fight Life Connoisseurs, podcast. We just dropped an episode with Jeff where we even got dirtier than we did here.
Oh, and Donjo.
We were just cross-pollinating. That was Fight Live Connoisseurs on Gym Crashers with Gabe Green. Gifted Gabe Green in the house. We had Sean Lerma earlier, ourlifecbd.com. Make sure you check him out. If you're looking for CBD, he's the guy. I'm Dondo the Gym Crasher and John Dondo on Facebook. So check out Gym Crashers every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And we got Joey Bull or No Bull. It's mostly Bull, but here he is.
Yeah, and once again, you can catch me on TikTok, freaking Facebook, Instagram. And believe me, if you want dirty competition, I'll bring it dirty next week.
Dirty.
I'll bring it real dirty.
Oh, no.
Bring it.
I mean, you better bring some toilet
Are you,
paper.
are, you, are
dirty.
you really on TikTok? Like doing dances
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff? Please,
On
like
TikTok.
I'm gonna go ahead and follow
Yeah.
you on TikTok for
Yeah,
sure.
you find me on TikTok. My daughter says, "You're old, Dad." I go, "Hey, I'm just having fun."
Doing the whole-
I do the renegade. You know? Anyway, folks, We'll see you next week. This has been another episode of Gym Crashers. Hopefully we get these damn flies out of here. It's going to be dirty next week, folks. Check us out. Peace out.